So, Honest Thief. Pretty original plot, I must say. It would be an excellent film if it weren't made like a very low tier B class movie. What I mean by that is everything is basically average but made poorly. The acting is fine. I personally I love Liam Neeson's movies and films, but I think he's a bad actor. So, I mean, the acting in this it ranges from mediocre to good, including Liam Neeson. The writing, personally, I think it's not bad and it's not good. I'd say it's just right there, it's middle, it's average. The action sequences are well shot, but I don't think they're clever. I don't really think they were anything astounding. They're just average. The special effects, particularly in one scene, which a house blows up, is really bad. The direction of it was subpar. By that, I mean it was extremely uneven. There were times it wanted to be just a straight up action film, and then there were other times it wanted to be a 2.5 hour story and character driven film, and you mesh both of those together into a mostly B class action thriller, and you get Honest Thief, which isn't terrible, but it's really unevenly edited. The score, the soundtrack was average. Like I said, this isn't a terrible film, but it's also not a great film. This is a very average and uneven film where the visuals are sometimes good and then some other times pretty bad. And the plot and story is actually a really original story, and I will give this film that credit where credit is due. But everything else around the plot, how the plot was developed, how the plot was centered, was very poorly made and poorly shot and poorly done. So, personally, my rating for Honest Thief is a 6 out of 10. Now, I also saw Honest Thief in IMAX. This was actually the very, very first IMAX experience that I ever got to experience a film in. And keep in mind, I have a Vizio 55-inch 4K TV with HDR. I have a PS4 Pro, so I'm very familiar with 4K. I'm very familiar with HDR, very familiar with all of the high-tech gadgets. Well, my first impression with IMAX is my forthcoming quotation would probably be, I probably should have watched a film that was shot on IMAX cameras as the first experience. This film isn't terribly bad looking, but it's just like how it was edited. It's really uneven looking. There are shots and scenes where it looks crystal clear, but then there are other scenes that look bad, like it's basically an upscaled DVD on a 10,000-inch screen. The audio was average. It wasn't anything mind-blowing where things would blow up and it would be loud or very explosive sounding. It was just average. It was, I would say, Blu-ray quality kind of sound design. But yeah, Honest Thief in IMAX, I would have to give a 5 out of 10 because I have to consolidate the film as well as the experience. And the film itself was a 6, and the IMAX experience wasn't really anything to throw my fists up for. You know, like when Mike Pence visited the veterans at the RNC or whatever, and he was just like, can't do that for this film. For the IMAX experience, it's a 5 out of 10. It's very average. It's basically just like watching a 4K on your at-home 4K system setup, whatever you have. So, yeah, I mean, I wasn't very disappointed in my experience in general, but I really hope that not every film is this kind of an experience in IMAX. And I'm going to try and see every IMAX affiliated film in IMAX when I go to review them at the theater. So, anyway, keep that in mind for the future. Honest Thief film review, 6 out of 10. Honest Thief IMAX experience review, 5 out of 10. Thank you.